Good evening, it's Friday, it's 8 p.m, it's the BBA and Wahl. It is Barbers Arms episode 43, can you believe it? Here in lockdown 3 and only probably 6 weeks away from reopening. Got a great show ahead of us tonight in conjunction with the British Barbers Association and Wahl UK. Me and guys are going to take you through this week's news desk, which is a real positive one, given us that we all had the green light to start work on the 12th of April. So that's all coming up on our news desk. We've got a nice American feel joining us from California. It'll be mid-afternoon for him there in the nice sunny weather in California. We've got Kevin Nugent, award-winning barber from America. So Kevin's going to be joining us in Barbers Arms. 8:45, we've got Gaz's 43rd cocktail. God, you should see his bar bill. It's macca, proper big. I've seen his bar actually, he's got every drink it will. So he's going to be giving us his 43rd cocktail around about 8:45. And then at 8:50, we've got one of us on here from London. We've got Nguray Kesman, award-winning barber, twice nominated for the World Barber of the Year and is a barber to some of the Strictly Come Dancing stars. And then me and Gaz will take you up to closing time here on Barbers Arms, episode 43. Without further ado, please welcome my co-host, Machin.
Oh, thank you very much, sir, and all the very best to you, and better for seeing you as well. We've had a great week, absolutely fantastic. We've had some great news, as you've just said. Just like to say, just before we go any further, thank you very much to Louis and Chris for last week's show. Absolutely great guests. Pleasure to have them on as usual, and being all over the world as usual. So it was Canada and Derby, good old Derby, not far from me. 93.2 thousand views last week, which is absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. What we've got today is, I mean, good news week, isn't it, mate? I mean, what more can we say? I'm sure everybody in the country has heard the news, been talking about. Social media's gone absolutely crazy. The magic number, if everybody behaves themselves, the 12th of April. So what do you think about that then?
I think it was really good news and it was really positive, and I think we'd managed people's expectations in terms of when people were going to get back. I always said towards back end of April anyway. I think it's gone really well. And I think what the government's done since January is they've given us a kind of landscape and a map of when the next announcement would be, when kids are potentially go back to school, when we'd be expected as close-up services and non-essential retail would open up. What I heard today on the news, though, again, alarm bells rang about, since everybody's had the news, you look at the infection rates have gone up kind of everywhere. Guys, you're not out, you know, we've got a vaccine. Even if you've had a vaccination, you as an individual, and I'm hoping to get mine next week or so, you as an individual have a responsibility. You can't go around to other people until, you know, you've had your second one, and you've just got to, we've got to stick to protocol. If anybody's unsure as well, if you're going on all the government links as well, it'll give you the guideline in terms of, you know, when you can mix into other households outside, when you can go inside, when, you know, a beer garden's going to be open, and if that beer garden's going to be open, what facilities it should have, you know, when hotels are going to open up, barring for business work, when they're going to open up, and then again, you know, when pubs are going to open up for restaurants, and then hopefully, if we've all played ball and we've got infections rates down, when the government should start to restrict some of all the big kind of personal taxes that's on us at the minute with masks and stuff, should start to release around about 21st of June. So, guys, we have a big responsibility to not screw this up. I can't tell you enough. It's important.
And you know what, mate? It can be screwed up. I mean, these are provisional dates, remember, everybody. I don't want to put a counter on this at all or anything, but as you've just said, you know, some rates have gone up in certain areas. 2 out of 5 on the news, you know, just this afternoon have gone up. You know, so we haven't become complacent. 21st of June, we're supposed to have all restrictions taken away. Now, that's never going to happen if we've got infection rates going up, is it? In a million years, you know. So a lot of the things that have come out, you know, when Boris gave us the dates, you know, we've got the first England match, haven't we, for the Euros 22nd, the day after. So we won't be open. You know, we want to be open for these
just
days.
Can't calm it down. You know, I think I saw some pictures last year in Bournemouth when we were in lockdown, but there's some nice weather. You know, weather's been very pleasant in Yorkshire the last couple of days. Blue skies, it's fresh, but sun. And you think, you know, this time last year it were happening and we went into lockdown at end of March, and weather, we were very lucky, all of us. The fear is that you are, if you do go out on the roads, they're a lot busier than the first lockdown, and that most of the rules apply to what applied in that first lockdown, but the roads are a lot busier, people are a lot busier around. Fuck knows where they're going, because most people can't work.
Well,
you know? So,
well, that's the idea, but you know, as I've said it before, and you know, you talk about hotels and everything being open. They've had the magic number of the 21st of June. Still a long time away. Still a lot's happening between those times, and it's all down to the data. If for us to open on the 12th of April, we have got to have everything in place on the 5th, which is a week before that they can actually confirm that we're going back. So, you know, anything happens in this next 5 weeks, you know, we're going to be screwed. But I think, you know, it does give us something to head for. It does give us, you know, a date in the diary. You know, we can get outside more on the 29th of March, and, you know, Scotland's going to be following us now. They've had their date, they're 2 weeks behind us. So, you know, we are having this good news factor, if you like. The vaccine information seems really, really positive. I just noticed you were saying you were having yours in the next week or so.
Next week or so, yeah. I don't think I was due to it, but the doctor said to me, are you vulnerable? So fucking hell, I'm vulnerable. Get me in.
Well, with you being in the over 60s, you would be having it before me. So, you know, I can understand that.
Listen,
if
I've got to forge a passport to get my vaccine, I want it done because I want to get some normality. I want to travel again. I want to get it, and I know myself. You know, I've said all along through everything, I've managed my own expectations for my own job, but I am getting to the point now where I've had enough. I want to. You all went back on 4th of July, then you went back again in 2nd of December after your lockdowns, and you got your date for 12th of April. But for us, it's been no travelling, and so we've had to really change what we do. And I'm not moaning about it because I'm very fortunate to work for Wahl, but I want to get back to doing what I do best, and we can only do that if it's safe to travel, if it's safe to move around, and if it's safe in the country where we're not spiking it. You know, one thing though I'll say, I always kind of knew with people getting back together in December that we'd potentially be locked down again in January. You just knew it. Everybody had a feeling that he's going to lock us down again in January. Since this one though, and then the way that they've staggered it and being very cautious in terms of releasing dates and things, I've been very optimistic that this is it. Vaccinations are massive. Get probably 30 million vaccinated by mid-July. That's 50% or 40 odd percent of the population in the UK, excluding kids. Today just worried me when they told me that everything's going up, and then you see stats about people moving around and thinking we've done it, we've smashed it. Please just behave and don't spoil it. We've done enough now. Get another 8 weeks, and then we're back trying to get back to some normality. Just do that, and then we're all in a better place. We're all in a better place.
Yeah.
Nearly as good a place as Gary Jackson today. It's his birthday. I wonder if he's in a nice place when he's at 70 odd year old.
Yeah, it's Gary, one of our first guests on. He couldn't be with us tonight. We tried to get him on, but he was indisposed. But Files compañeros, my friend. I hope you have a great one. I don't know.
Buenas noches.
I don't know how old Gary is. Tell you the truth, I didn't ask that. I just saw it. I just saw it on social that he was on, and I know he's a granddad and everything else, but I'm not quite sure how old Gary is anyway. So anyway, going back to the show, we've got all our usual viewers. I know we've got Alison, Stephen Bean, Colin Horton, Serial, Rick. He just said he can't wait to get on stage for Wahl this year. Because he hasn't done a lot for you. He got made part of the team when he came on the show. We'd been locked down, and he hadn't done a lot for you up till then.
To be fair, Rick probably was the last person out of the team to actually do some kind of normal work. He did a photo shoot down at Wahl HQ, which was for our 2020 collection. So he did some beautiful work for us. And then, unfortunately, things like the shows that we got coming up all got cancelled. I had a really positive meeting with Jane Lewis on Tuesday or Wednesday. And I know Jane's going to be up for coming on in the next maybe 5 or 6 weeks. I know guests have reconfirmed, but she does apologise, Jackie, if you're watching. She said she does apologise for not getting back to you. She's not been very well, actually, so she had a little stint in hospital, but she's all well. She's looking forward to coming on to Barbers Arms. But the real positive thing was Salon International is 1,000,000% going ahead if everything is good. So we at Wahl this year are very positive about that, and we can't wait to get the big stand up there. We had that beautiful new stand built in 2019, and we've only used it once. So it's itching to get back up there. So that real positive news, it's give me a lot of motivation, but it's also made me very protective. Come on, let's get it right, and let's get back to Salon International. I can't wait. Really can't wait for that, Gary.
I've just seen a load of news on different festivals as well. I mean, they're popping up all over the place, aren't they? I know.
Like a festival, guys.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, generally the festival season is when we're away all the time, isn't it? It's through the summer, through the better months, the outside months, we seem to be away all the time. It was funny. Rachel barmaid was talking to some friends on Zoom, and when we had Valentine's Day this February, it's the first one in 3 years that I've been at home. You forget the different things that you'd miss, you lose, you don't. Mother's Day, I haven't been at home for Mother's Day for like 4 years or something like that. It's just ridiculous. So it's you do think, and stuff you do sacrifice for, obviously your social side of things as well as your family things. It is funny, and I think that's a good thing about social media, if nothing else. I mean, I don't go chasing likes or anything, but when you do take photos, it just gives you, when they pop up and they give you a memory or whatever, you forget, don't you, how long things are.
Mine's been tormenting me the last few weeks. So every morning I walk up, there's a new memory. It's always been about a show, abroad, work. There's been hardly, there's been 1 or 2 family things that popped up, but it's almost been like screwing it into me. It's like, look what you're missing. I did my first overseas seminar on Tuesday to Wahl, India. So I loved it. It was really good. Got very passionate, got very motivated by doing it. So that's my first overseas presentation called Behind the Scenes, which is helping our presenters to do their virtual stuff. So it was really good. Salon International is the weekend of the commencing 16th of October. So it's a little bit later. So people are just asking when is Salon. So it's commencing 16th of October. So Saturday, Sunday, and Monday's 3-day event. Still Salon International. So put that in your diaries, guys. And I'm sure not only Wahl, but BBA and a lot of your barbering favourites will be there, as well as some of the biggest names, not only in this industry in the UK, but in the world as well. Talking of global, not local, tonight, Barbers Arms. We had Canadians on last week. It's got a right global feel to it. Tonight, we've got an amazing young man who's won lots of awards. And I'm really pleased he's joining us from California. I don't know what time it is in California, but do you want a quick shot before he comes on?
Well, you caught me then, didn't you? I was just about, I thought, I've got to have the first one of the night. So I thought I might just sneak a quick one in, and you caught me. So I'll just refill that a little bit. I'm just on the fireball as usual.
Of course you'll fill it up. Why not?
And just talking about where in Los Angeles at the moment, because Kevin's he's based in San Diego, isn't he?
Yeah. Ready?
It's 12:15 in the afternoon now for them. So.
I think he's a teetotaler as well, but let's just see. I've had him over to the UK a few times, and I've been obviously in America. So I've probably spent about 6 or 7 full weekends with him. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody all around the globe. Good health. Friday night.
You know, I'll have a tequila on a Friday, but impartial to it. How's your hip flask? The big hip flask you've got, is it good?
I'll get it out for you in a minute. I think we've got a knock at the door. So I think
Sure you will.
Our next guest, our first guest of the night is on the show.
Hey, just a quick introduction to everyone. If you're just joining us live, watching us tonight, or if you're watching us in the week, here we have one of the most amazing young barbers, not only in the USA, but also globally, award-winning 2017 Wahl Barber of the Year. Worked with me a few times in London, and I've worked with him in America as well. What a superstar this young man is. Please, ladies and gentlemen, Barbers House for the first time. Please welcome Kevin Nguyen. Brother.
Thank you, Simon.
Sending you my love, man. How are you?
I'm great. How about you?
Absolutely average.
How are you, Kevin? How's the weather in San Diego at the moment?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's probably like 85 degrees outside. Sun shining. It's beautiful.
Okay, that's enough. Thank you very much. We had a really heavy frost here this morning. I don't know about you, Simon, but it was white over today. So it was about -2 in Staffordshire at the moment this morning. So welcome to the show, Kevin. Anyway, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on. Some emerging talent. You've done great things over in the water. I know you did. For people who've been watching the Barber's Arms, you actually appeared on our 24-hour education platform for us as well, didn't you?
That's right. Introducing the flat top haircut in the US.
Perfect. I mean, you come across as the epitome of a great professional, and I know Simon's got a load of information on you because he's worked with you before. Wahl educator, you're an educator for California Barber College as well. Mm-hmm. Barber of the Year for Wahl. I mean, you're award-winning barber. What keeps you inspired at the moment? What keeps you going through lockdown? Because you're actually back. Aren't you?
I'm sorry, what was that?
You're actually back at work now.
Yes, I am.
So what's kept you inspired through lockdown?
Definitely every year I always strive to be a better version of myself, and that's what I aim for. My goal was just to be a better version of the last person I was last year. So that's what is my biggest inspiration. You know, I have a family behind me that supports me as well, and just introducing myself strong every year is what's important to me.
Well, Kevin, as Gary said earlier, and the viewers that are watching, in my role as Global Artistic Director for Wahl, Kevin came under my attention when you'd won the Wahl Barber Battle, which was 2017, is that right?
I believe so, yes.
And then you obviously, you just went on from strength to strength under the guidance of Laura and the wheat team at that point, and now with Lisa taking you onto a different platform as well. So you've always been at the forefront of the team since you joined them. But Kevin, Barbers Arms is all about getting a profile and us asking some questions to the barbers that come on, and then we'll finish off with a quick fire question. I think Gaz has got a rant or rave for you to do halfway through the show. So hang tight, here we go. First question's coming up. So Kevin, one of the things I want to speak to you about is being with Wahl now for probably 3.5, 4 years. What's been the biggest changes in the last maybe 12 months, 18 months that you've seen from Wahl Wheat in 2018 to 2019, then to Wahl Wheat Team 2019 to 2021?
That's a great question. I feel like we get better every year, you know, and I've gotten a lot of messages, DMs, contact about like, wow, Wahl is growing so fast and so huge right now in the market. And I do believe so, you know, it's because of our influencing team, our new education, just taking stuff to a different platform in different ways.
And we're working with a guy called Bird Mina. So do you want to tell everybody just a bit about what's Bird's involvement with the wheat team in the US?
Bird Mina is a creative consultant as well. He's the co-founder of Sharp Fade. It's a repost, more than a repost page, more of an industry page for our industry on IG and Facebook as well. and TikTok. He has a lot of different platforms on social media. But he's a creative consultant. He's been guiding us, taking us to new levels, and just giving us that new spice in our team. You know.
Just quickly before we go on, for the guys out there who don't know, what does WEAT stand for? When you talk about the Wahl, what's the WEAT? What does that stand for?
Wahl Education Artistic Team.
Oh, right, okay. I should have guessed that really, but I just throw it out there for, you know, when we use acronyms, sometimes people don't understand what it is. So how many of you is there in the US team, in the North American team then?
I believe there's about 18 of us right now.
And do you come from all different regions? Obviously, because North America is so huge, do you cover certain areas, or do you all just work as a team and cover the whole lot?
Yeah, so we scatter around the U.S. We have also with Mexico as well. We have a team in Mexico. One new members from Italy and another one from Costa Rica. So they all come together to join our team.
I think what we've done as well is what the lead educator out there, Lisa's done, which is a really good job. She's kind of got the team concentrated on different stuff. So Kevin and Bird and Miguel and a few others, you kind of run and Yves, they'll run what's called the Disrupt Tour, which is a kind of an urban tour that we take around the States, in Vegas, in all the major cities, Chicago. And that team is like the spearhead, the forefront of the team. And then we have a 1919 team, which kind of does education, but on a particular brand and product. And then we have the general field team that do general education. Am I right in that, Kev? Is that how the split works?
Correct.
So yeah, it's quite a diverse team out there. But Kevin, join us in London. Obviously, it seems ages ago. I got a photograph out yesterday. I think you were on the stage with Yuki. In 2019, that was 2019. It seems like it was different, because I think you were over with us in August, weren't you, as well, for the global training?
That's right.
And then you were back over for Salon International as well.
Yeah, that was one heck of a trip.
Now it's 20 past 8 here in the UK. This is Barbers Arm. So me and guys, I'm having an Italian Peroni. I did say to the viewers before you came in, I'm not sure, but I think that you don't drink, do you?
No, I do not.
What are you drinking today, though? What's the drink that I've seen you? Is that an iced coffee?
It's tea.
Iced tea?
Iced tea with a little milk in it, a little cream.
Oh, no, not for me, guys.
Cheers.
He's a healthy boy, that's the thing. He's a gym guy. He probably goes to the gym, watches what he's eating, doesn't drink. He's a healthy living guy. Kevin, just while I've got 2 minutes, while I just stop him talking just for 1 minute. What's your for all our viewers out there? I mean, we have 100,000 viewers a week on this show, and we're up to about just up to 6 million views now for the show. Just give us quickly your story. How did you get into barbering, and you know what brought you, what pushed your career in the direction it's gone? Because you're still a young guy. You know, you had to do Cosmo School first, I'm guessing first as well. So you've come a long way in a short time. So just give us your story.
I'm a second generation barber. So my dad was a first generation. And from there on, my older brother was a barber as well. And then we had started the barber school. So from being in the barber school and just getting my license, I've realized that there's definitely more to just barbering. It's education as well, helping out the next generation. And I just feel that what keeps me striving in the barber industry is just passion. You know, you gotta be very passionate about what you do. Spreading education is definitely impactful more for me. So over the years, I've just been trying to be a better version of myself, you know, from being a barber, from being a barbershop owner, from being an educator to an international educator. I've always hungered for the next level and the next level.
Cool.
Did you not fly out to see Michael a few months before lockdown when he was over in Vegas on a lads' weekend? He told me that he had a surprise guest turning up in the hotel in Vegas. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. I went to go pay Michael a visit.
Excellent. That's really nice of you to do that. He said he was really, really impressed. Barry, you're not drinking. He said he enjoyed seeing you.
Who are we talking about? Michael Damiano?
Yeah, Michael went out on a stag weekend, long weekend in Vegas, and he said all of a sudden he obviously speaks to Kevin, and all of a sudden he says Kevin just turned up. He was in Vegas, flown out to Vegas or drove to Vegas, and I don't know which. How far away you are from Vegas?
I flew.
And he turned up in Vegas. And did you have a night with him or a day with him or?
Just dinner. You know, Vegas is the reason why I don't drink.
We've had some great nights in Vegas. We haven't had one together, and we haven't met up there yet, have we?
Yeah, forget Kevin. We'll just go out to Vegas. We'll put it on the BBA expenses. I think we're due a trip to Vegas just to see what it's like. Kevin, a question. If you'd met somebody for the first time and they'd never met you before, they didn't know who you were, how would you describe yourself?
Ambitious. I feel like I'm very ambitious, and just moving forward to greater things. If I were to introduce myself, that would be me. Unless you're talking about just my name in general, where I'm from.
No, just wanted to know, but what would you describe yourself as? Do you tell people you're a barber? Do you tell people you're a presenter? You know, how would you describe yourself?
It's funny. It's hilarious because I get this question all the time when people see me at a restaurant or a coffee shop. They always ask me, "Are you a tattoo artist?" You know, because all my tattoos, you know. But I always play along like, yeah. Until they ask me, "Oh, I need a tattoo," and I tell them, "Oh no,
I'm not your man."
Yeah, but I always tell them that I'm a educator. I'm a barber educator.
Well, do you know something? It's funny, and I'm not going to say this because I've asked you that question, but in the first lockdown, as it was easing away, we did the Boots conference, and me and Sam and a model that we had. We stayed in an hotel in Nottingham, and each day we went back to the hotel after we'd done the filming in the studio. We couldn't go out anywhere, so you just booked a meal at the hotel. But each morning, you know what I'm like, everybody were at breakfast at 7:45. Everybody wearing black. You've got a certain smell about you. You've got a certain look about you. And this waitress, after she served us for 2 or 3 days at breakfast, she said to me, she went, can I ask you what you guys do? And I went, what do you think you do? She says, well, and I know you're going to take this here. She says, we all thought you were like pop stars. You were from some kind of group. I said, well, I'll take that all day. As long as I'm not from a group from the 80s, I'll be fine. But yeah, we have a certain look about, guys, when you walk in, you know, you look like a Philadelphia lawyer with your 3-piece suit on and your shirt and tie, and you're well groomed and you smell good and you've got a personality about you and a presence about you. People are drawn to us because they'll say, I want to find out what, that's why I asked you, what do people say to you? What do? You met for the first time. I think it depends with me what mood I'm in. I'm just a barber. Or the one who intrigued them to impress. Well, I'm global, not local, motherfucker. Yeah. So look, moving on, Kevin. In America, growing up, I know you're a big family business and you are second generation barbers. But just in the States, not globally, but in the States, who's been the biggest influence on your career? Who's been the main driving person that's really driven Kevin forward?
I want to say my dad. My dad definitely, because a little backstory on him. He came from Vietnam and he was almost homeless over here in the U.S. You know, he was a refugee and he couldn't really do much. And then barbering saved his life, took him to the next level. So just seeing him. And he would tell me he used to be a dishwasher and wash dishes in hot water for like $2.50 a day. And it's just an inspiration from seeing him from the person he was to becoming a very successful man that takes care of his family. And I aspire to be that.
You talk about your father. Is the training, you're an instructor on your profile, you're an instructor at the barber college. Is it your dad's college as well?
Yeah, so my mom and my pops.
So, I mean, so that in its own. So my next question was, do you still actually cut in the barber shop as well, or are you full-time educator now?
Part-time, I do cut. I would bring my clients to the school and I would cut the hair in front of the students and show them a little demo.
Cool. So your full-time job really is obviously with Wahl. You know, you do all your education with Wahl, but you are in barber college training the next generation of barbers. Then you've taken the mantle from your dad.
Correct.
Fantastic, great story.
I love it, that, guys, don't you? It's just nice, and it's very organic, listening to Kevin. And I think, you know, your dad's upbringing is when, you know, before I even knew any of this, first time I met you, second time I met you, before we even got into the personal side of stuff, I think you mentioned it earlier, guys, you're very well grounded and very, you know, nothing goes to your head. You're very polite, and you've always had a, you know, pleasure. One of the things I always look at, guys, is when he's come over to the UK and he's really busy at Salon International, the stages there are probably the best you've ever worked on in terms of where we travel. But backstage, Kevin would not have to ask to like tidy the area, prep for other people, get things ready. We haven't been asked. He just did it. He just had that nice work ethic to him, which was, you know, probably where he is today. Guys, don't forget to follow us on our Instagrams, which is Simon Shaw Wahl. Gaz is the British Barber, or Barbers_Arms. If you want to watch any of the 42 episodes gone before tonight, don't forget you can catch them up on our website, which is thebarbersarms.co.uk. Barbers Arms at Clubhouse as well, if you want to join us on Clubhouse as well. And also, if you want to email us with any information, we've got some great guests coming up, which me and Gaz will share with you for the next 2 or 3 weeks, which is barbersarms@thebritishbarber.com if you want to email us them, all the social media sites as we move on. Guys, I think it's time for rant or rave.
So, you're very lucky, Kevin, or unlucky, depending on how you look at it. What we have a little spot on the show which is called rant or rave. So it's in you know, the actual description is in the title. We're going to give you 2 minutes, and it's going to be a subject that we don't know yet. And on screen, production are going to actually roll the dice, if you like, and give us a subject that you're going to rant or rave for 2 minutes. So, production, can you roll that barrel, please? And we don't actually know that. We can't actually see this, what goes on, because they don't give us the subject before we go on air. So and we can't see. So it's actually rolling at the moment. I'm watching it on screen, and it's actually coming up as
Kardashians.
The Kardashians. So rant or rave for 2 minutes there, for or on or about the Kardashians. Over to you.
All right. You know, one thing I hate about the Kardashians is how successful they are. They are stupid successful, and you know, I don't know what they do with this money, how far they go with this money, but like I want to see more things come out of them with this money, you know, because they're one of the most successful people in this world, and I'm just like, wow, off of what, pure beauty? Because if it's pure beauty, then Simon has that, right? And why isn't he successful as they are? But yeah, and then it feels like every single time someone enters a family, they just get more successful, and there's always the man entering the family. You know, as you can see, they're a very dominant woman family. I feel like the men are not dominant in there. Like whatever man goes in their way, no, it's a woman that's more dominant than the men, and I feel like that's why they have more daughters, right? But,
I'll tell you what, that's an ad subject, that one.
Well done, sir. All the very best. I'm probably sure Kanye would have something to say about that interview if you said that.
It's too soon. I don't want to bring my homeboy in yet.
Kevin, I think you're very. You was in Barber Evo's last issue. I don't know if you'd seen the copy of that. So obviously, you're getting a name over here in the UK. But what's your general feeling about the UK scene, the UK barbering scene? What's your likes about it?
Oh, I love it. I felt like that was one of the biggest inspiration for the US. You know, they always see new trendy cuts over there, new styles, and they always brought it to the US. So it usually starts from the UK. We get inspired and bring that style to the US. So I definitely love the style over there.
That's what I've been trying to say to these guys, though, guys, for the last 10, 15 years when we're going over. We need to get some of the stages that we've had in the UK because we've got the talent now. So we need to have those platforms that we have in the UK for the talent that we have in the US. And there's no touching the team that you've got at a minute. No touching you.
Yeah, I agree. You build it, they'll come.
You
remember that?
We were talking last week. I mean, I'm sure you know Louis as well, you know, Wahl, Canada. And, you know, he was talking about social media bringing it, you know, the world's a smaller place now easily because everybody's work's accessible. You know, everybody can see everybody's work. It's instant almost. What, you know, the major shows that you do now with Wahl, obviously, but before you were with Wahl, was that something that you really made a conscious effort to, you know, like competitions, getting to all the major shows? I mean, there's loads and loads of shows, obviously. I know there's the top 5 or 6 in North America. But was that something you purposely did? Did you purposely go to? Because you know it costs a lot of money if you're not being taken there by Wahl. You know, if you're traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast for a show, New York, Orlando, you know, Chicago, Vegas, you know, the major shows. It's a big investment. You know, is that something that you pursued purposefully, or did you get asked to go to the shows, or what, you know, in your early career, what really made you chase these shows and the awards?
When I was in the show, I always felt like there was just more to barbering. You know, you don't want to sit behind a chair on the 9-to-5 basis. And that's why I went out of my way to go to attend these shows, these classes, the competitions. You know, before a while, I believe I was Wahl with my 29th trophy when I won. So I just felt more inspiration. So people would even book me after seeing my talent, me winning these battles. So they would tell me, hey, we want you to come judge at our battle, or we want you to come host a show because we love your work. So before Wahl, I was getting booked already, but being with Wahl, it just leveled up to the next level where they would send me to the shows. I would get requested these elite shows, elite hosts were like, hey, we want new blood. Let's get the Yakuza barber on the show. So it's definitely a huge blessing.
But Kevin, just for our viewers, how old are you?
I am 27, turning 28.
Cool. I mean, you know, I still class you as a young guy. You know, you've got a lot to give. You've given already. You know, going back to the show thing. I mean, North America, the States is huge. So you going from, you know, even from one end of California to the other, it's still a long way. You know, you still, you know, Vegas from San Diego is not that far, you know, in relative times, and you still flew there. So did you was it something that you got sponsored for, or did you actually fund that to go into all these shows yourself? How did you make? Did you do all local shows at first and then start moving around, or because you said you got 28 awards already before the Wahl one? Were they local shows at first and then you moved out, or what was the?
They were scattered around the US. So there was some in Vegas, Hawaii, Chicago, a lot of them in California, but that would be my money out of my pocket, you know. That would be my airfare, my Ubers, everything. That would be me. On top of bringing my own model, that's 2 tickets I'm looking at. You know, if I'm comfortable with my model, I got to pay for his flight, his food, and sponsor him as well. But it was definitely a pinch in the pocket to go to these shows.
Do you know what? That's what I wanted you to say, because we get so many young guys saying, you know, they see somebody on stage and say, I want to do that. But they don't see the flip side of that, of the money you've invested and the things you've got to go through to get to that point in your career. And, you know, in the UK, we have exactly the same problems, but probably not the same logistics because we're a lot smaller country. We travel probably into Europe more now than we would stay in the UK. But what I wanted you just to get out there was the amount of money you spent and time and effort and everything else, you know. So it just doesn't come, does it? You know, you've got to invest.
I definitely agree. I feel that a lot of people nowadays are infatuated with the idea of being on stage, being on the spotlight, but they don't see the hard work and dedication that you build behind it. And they just want to get successful already without putting the hard work in.
They want the 28 trophies before they put the work into it. But those 28 trophies will have cost you a lot of work, a lot of time, and a lot of funds as well to do that. Absolutely. Yes. So, you know, you have to be in it for the long haul, because you have to think that what's your long-term goal? Your long-term goal is to be with a brand and to make sure that your travel is paid for. When you're on stage, you're getting paid. So for me, when you bank those trophies, you keep your money. Sorry, I've got a saying: as you get older, you want to keep your trophies in the bank. It's all about what you're earning from what you've put in, because you're at that level where people pay to see you, when you get paid by a good brand like Wahl to do your stuff. So look, it's amazing. Great journey, Kevin. I love the family history stuff. I love the work ethic that you've had. I'm not too sure about your drinking habits, drinking iced tea. It is a bit early for you. It's midday. We're here at 20 to 9 on the evening in the quite breezy and cold UK. Everybody is looking forward to getting out of lockdown later on in April and May and June. We've got like 3 stages coming out of it, and we're hopefully at the end of it, which will release me for some travel. So I'm hoping to get over to you guys. I would say the earliest thing would be Chicago in 2022. But, you know, as long as I manage my expectations on that, I don't get depressed about it. It might be nice to get to the Vegas show in July or June, I think. Yeah. That'd be nice.
We'll take the Barbers' arms to Vegas, eh?
Yeah, it should take the Barbers' arms. We've got a great following in the US. Don't forget to share this as well, Kevin, with all your followers as well.
Of course, of course.
If you watch Barbers, we always finish off with a quick fire profile on our guests, so it gives everybody a little bit of a fun towards the individuals that come on the show as well. So we're going to finish off with a little profile on yourself. Gary, did you want to ask Kevin another question?
No, you carry on. I'll say it on my goodbyes when we go. We've got about 5 minutes.
All right, Kevin, if you watched Barbers' Arms, you know what's coming up. If you've not, it'll be new to you. And if you've watched it anyway, we change the questions every week. So I've switched them around a little bit, but Guray's going to get the hardest ones on as the guest afterwards. Don't forget to tune in and watch Nguyen Guray Kesman as well. He's on straight after you, one of the UK's top barbers, and he is a resident barber on Strictly Come Dancing. Kevin, first question. What's your favourite drink?
Oh, I want to say anything virgin. Tea mostly. I enjoy tea.
Tea. Do you know I have tea in the UK, but it's red hot and it's black. I have no milk in it. I just have black tea. Yeah, I love it. Black tea. I could drink it all day. Favorite food?
Favorite food? Anything fried. Love fried food.
A proper Yank. You must love it then in Sterling.
Yeah, Chicken George.
Chicken George. My
Chicken
favourite.
George.
Gary, I've got to get gas from Chicken George. It's the best. What's your favourite destination?
Oh, I want to say Hawaii.
Do you know, I knew we were going to say that.
Have you been?
Favourite music?
Favorite music? I'm a old kind of guy, so R&B, old school R&B.
And who would be your ideal dinner date? Who would you like to have one night with and just sit and have dinner and chat with? Who would you be your ideal dinner date?
Who would I pick? Well, my girl's gonna be watching this, so I'm sorry if you hear this, but I want to say, let's be successful and pick one of the Kardashians.
purely from a business side of things.
Well, let's see how this all stands up there. We've got Kevin Nugent, award-winning barber from the USA. Thanks for joining us on a Friday afternoon. Ran about 20 to 1 in the afternoon in San Diego, but Kevin's a great guy. Loved working with him. He's a real one of our future prospects to go all the way with Wahl, but what a great guy. He's having a nice iced tea with a little bit of cream, which is his favourite drink. He's having whatever he can, fried food, but let's just say he's very fortunate to have a portion of Chicken George chicken in front of him, which is one of our Wahl favourite foods that we have when we're at the HQ. He's doing all this in Hawaii, which is his favourite destination, listening to some old school R&B, and he's doing it all with a beautiful Kim Kardashian. Kevin, been beautiful to have you on Barbers Arms, mate. God bless to you and your beautiful family. I'll see you very soon,
Likewise.
man. Keep in touch, brother.
Sounds good. See you guys later.
Kevin, it's been an absolute pleasure, sir. Hope to catch up with you in your hometown. We'll have a beer or an iced tea in San Diego. We'll catch up with some friends there hopefully soon. Can I just remind all of our viewers out there, if you want to catch Kevin on our 24-hour education that was earlier on last year, just at the back end of last year, did a fantastic flat top, introduced himself onto the BBA stage, and it's well worth a watch. So please have a look at him. Just go back on the past education platform. You can get to it on all past shows as well. Kevin, it's been a pleasure, sir. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. See y'all later. Have a good one.
Kevin. Hi. Getting lots of messages in here about Kevin, just on personal messages. I think what's amazing is, and we've said this, Gary, you'll say it a lot to your students, and they all look at us when we're out traveling and stuff, but I think some of my longest serving team members, Carl Blake, 5, Michael Damiano, Michael in particular, you know, when they were coming up and through, I took them a lot of times with me to certain events, and the new, like Joff as well, you know, at Savills, I took them with me, and they travelled with me. They saw my phone ringing all the time. They see that you get into your hotel at 9 o'clock at night, you're back up at breakfast at 6:30, 7, you go into the next venue, you're setting up, you do your job, you get back in your car, you go into another hotel, and they go home and they're like, I don't know how you're going to do it. We're used to it. And those people they have utmost respect for you because you've done it. When you hear Kevin saying, I had 28 awards, and Wahl won, but it's obviously a biggie for him to win because he got him a contract with us. That was his 29th trophy before he actually got with a brand. So the amount of money on travelling, paying models, the work that he's put into it. For anybody who's watching, any young aspiring barbers or a couple of you out there that, you know, enter competitions and do stuff, text Stina that, because it's important that you just don't get there straight away, do you? You just don't do it.
No, you know, and you know, it makes me laugh sometimes. People will say, you know, oh, I haven't, you know, you've just hit the big time or whatever. Yeah, big time after I've been in the industry for 20 years or 25 years or 16 years or that time, you know, and what we charge for our time is not because of what we've done or how long we've spent on the head. It's the experience. It's what we've done, the class that we're taking or the class that we're teaching. It's the experience that you've built over all those years to deal with everything that will come up in that class or in that situation. So, you know, and I just wanted to reinforce that, because that is one of the questions that we get asked all the time. How do I get on stage? How do I do what? How do I get to it? You know, how do I do? And they just think it's this instant ride that you just apply, you get it, you're done, you're there. And I just wanted him to reinforce that from a young guy's perspective. And what I wanted to get there as well was, America, you know, the US is a huge country. He's traveling from east to west coast, 7 9-hour flights with his models. It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of time, and it's a lot of effort. Do you know, Gaz, though, you just said something there as well, is that even the ones that's won loads of awards, even the ones that have come through our, you know, on our radar, or the won the Wahl Barber of the Year, let's say, you know, President Carl Taylor and Killian and Andrea Raymond, separate to that. But, you know, I've seen people win awards. It's a bit like when you pass your driving test, that's when you learn how to drive. I've seen so many people win these awards and then think they're going to get a contract with a big brand and do it. And I would say the ones that are really successful, probably about 1 out of 30, 1 out of 40, that even after they've gone through that process, we've got real star quality. The other thing as well is, really what's important to me is longevity. I have them a year before I even put them on stage, because I've got to test them, try and put them in loads of situations. If you ask God to make you brave, he doesn't make you brave and give you a badge straight away. but he'll give you certain situations to make you courageous. And that's what I do. I test them for a full year. Let's see what you've got, because we want longevity. I don't want people coming in like a straw fire. Oh, Kim won all these awards, doing really good, and then like within 3 months, they're like next time for him on stage like a mute. So fair play to him.
I think that's true, and I think that's good. I think he's a great ambassador for your brand, obviously, but great ambassador for young, up and coming stars of the future and barbers. And even if you don't aspire to get there, but it's persistence, you know, and it's having that you know, I'm not quite. It's a number of things that has to happen for these things to happen. You know, it's whether you call it the stars align, but it's hard work and persistence and stamina. Because even though we take people on and, you know, we take people away with us, do the job, it isn't for everybody. And when they realize what they have to do as a team, you know, some people just aren't up. They haven't got it, you know, even though they're great barbers or whatever. So it's a special.
Some people have it for about 2 or 3 years and then just tell me that they can't do it anymore. They've had enough traveling, and, you know. Yeah. I'm very lucky, very fortunate. You know, Carl Blake, 5, Mick Damiano, Andrew Raymond. They've been there like decades.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that. Fair play to them. It's that time. Talking of stamina and talking of longevity, cocktail number 43 coming up.
Hey, this one as well is a special. So this is going out to a young lady. I was on the phone to. She's an ex-colleague. I used to work with her. She taught with her. She's a very good friend of ours anyway, her and a partner. But she's one of Rachel's or Barmaid's best mates as well. So this is going out to Miss Alison Bailey, or Titterton Bailey. She actually took us on a cocktail making weekend for her birthday one, and it was great. So this is going out to you, Ali, and she actually asked for this. And when I sent the name in to the production team, they said, "You what? Are you actually doing this?" And I said, "Yeah, we're definitely doing it." So this is a Lighty Rose Martini. So we've got our Martini glass that's been chilled. We've got our shaker, as always. Got some ice, some dry ice, and I always put it in the thermos flask just get it ready. So put some ice in there, dry ice, no water. We don't want it being watered down. So it's dry ice, just comes straight out of the freezer. As you can see, I've got everything ready already. So we've got our ingredients. So as I said before, you can do this if you're making a bucket of martini, if you're making a glass, or if you're making a shot, it's up to you. So I'm going to give it you in parts. So I always use shot glasses. You can do it in milliliters if you want to, ounces. So these are double shots, if you can see them. So I know there's 50 to 60 ml in there. If it's a double shot, half it otherwise. So we're doing a martini. You can do this with gin or vodka. You know, the famous martini drinker, 007, if you have it with vodka or gin, he always does it with vodka. So we're doing it with vodka tonight. So tots vodka over the ice. Then we've got rose liqueur, 1 part or 30 ml. That's going straight in. Then we've got some lychee syrup. Lychee syrup, you can get it, you can use the syrup out of tinned lychees if you want. This is actually a moaning, so this is proper lychee syrup. So that goes straight, there's your sweetness. That goes straight in. And then we're going to shake this up. So make sure your lid's on tight. So quickly, we're just going to shake that up. Just quickly, there's our glass. It's just come out to the freezer. So, and the main thing is, when we use the lychee, you can use the tinned lychee if you want. You can use fresh. But if you want the syrup side of things, it's always great to have the tinned ones if you want to. But you get them from any Chinese shop. They're lovely. We eat these every week. I absolutely love them. So we're going to tip this in. And I know the barmaid's going to come down to this, and so I'm not going to drink all of this. I'm going to drink half of it. And then what I've done is, as you can see, we've got lychee there. That's what a lychee. You take the stone out. I've put a cherry on the end only because they won't stay on the actual cocktail stick. So I'm going to just drop it in because it just looks better, and so I can drop it in there. So good health, everybody. There we have it. Beautiful again. We have our lychee rose, and you can put if you wash your rose petals, if you've got any left over from Valentine's Day, you can float a rose petal on there as well. But there's your lychee rose martini. Good health, everybody.
Good health, Gaz. 40.
Oh, that is absolutely beautiful. I'll set that down there just in case she comes down. If not, I'll drink it later on. But I have got an extra lychee there, so I'm going to drink that too as well. 43 hits you've took for the team there. Oh, it isn't hard though, is it? I mean, for most people, or for even me, this is a dream job. We're having a pint with each other and actually get on a show that we drink all the way through it. We'd have to hide it in a lemonade bottle or something like that usually, wouldn't you, when you go on stage?
No. What are you talking about? What's wrong with you? Alarm bells are ringing.
No. You know what? You know, the last time we were in at the back, you know, when you had the 100-year and you had the champagne bar. What a show that was. That was fantastic. There was a queue on there, a mile long, and every time I went past, you were like, just nip in here, just need a word. Champagne.
Well, I was very lucky because when they set all the company came to set all the champagne up, I think we had it twice through the day for all guests to come in and have a glass of champagne. I had to sneak in round the back and get 2 bottles of champagne and take them to the backstage area. So I had a private guests that were very fortunate to come backstage. One thing I want to say is that obviously we launched it last week, the team talk from Wahl that started off. We had lots of people that took up advantage teams there. Some of our guests as well, Adam and Eve, Nick, he's applied, and I think I'm with Nick and his team next week. We've had 2 or 3 colleges that's come in there. I think we've had about 20, we've got 20 booked in so far. So I'm going to be really busy next week doing my team talks to all the barbers and salons. We've still got time as well. We're going to run this right up to lockdown at the Wahl team talk. So still apply through the Wahl social media sites, guys, if you want to get involved. It's all on my social media, which is Simon Shaw Wahl, or on the Wahl Pro Instagram as well, how to apply and how to do it. Guys, I had a great meeting this week with somebody who you might know as well, Sue Postlethwaite.
Oh, I know Sue very, very well. What a lovely lady.
Yeah, I know she's been watching the show as well, so I just want to say thanks, Sue, for the help you've been giving us on certain things that we've got projects that's coming up. But what a great lady to work with, and so knowledgeable.
You know, I mean, Sue is... I almost feel like I did my apprenticeship to Sue, and people like Sue. When I'm not saying Sue's a lot older than us or anything like that. I'm digging a hole here, but when I first joined Javier, and you know, expert working groups and writing standards and things like that, she's got such a wealth of knowledge, and she's been in the job such a long time, and been, you know, in education such a long time. You know, there's a saying, if you've been in it long enough, it's just everything comes full circle, doesn't it? You know, we see everything come round again. It's like haircuts, really, but in education even more so. So it's really funny who gets in charge of whatever project. They try and reinvent the wheel, and if we're old enough, we've been there before. So Sue, I forever grateful for Sue, because she put me on the straight and narrow in a lot of ways and in a lot of things. So love Sue. She popped up on social media, and I asked her to connect. I wasn't a friend or whatever, or liked or followed or whatever. And I've just reconnected with her. It's dead funny that you brought her up. It's weird, that is. It's funny.
Well, we've been in the industry, you know, I'm into my 34th or 35th year, you know. And, you know, when I speak to people like Sue and Jackie as well, you know, you learn a lot, especially about the education sector, and especially with government funded training as well. You just get a massive knowledge of the hows and how to do it, you know. And I love listening to them, and you pick up on key things that they say and keywords that make so much sense and break it down very easy. I think it's the northern connection. Jackie, obviously, we from Yorkshire, and Sue from Lancashire. I think they just talk it straight as it is and give you the right knowledge and know the stuff as well. You know, just good. I think we've got our next guest pulling up in the car park. Just pulling up now. Here we go. Well, it's a great pleasure to have our next guest on Barbers Arms, making his first appearance. I have to say with this guy as well, fantastic endurance. 2 times nominated for Wahl British Barber of the Year. I know he's won awards with the BBA as well. We're an amazing barber, an amazing career. We're going to find out a little bit more about him. He is one of the resident barbers on Strictly Come Dancing as well. And it's starting his new chapter with his own business as well in London. Ladies and gentlemen, on Barbers Arms for the first time, please welcome the award-winning barber, Mr. Nguray Kesman.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Gary. Hello.
How are you, Nguray? You're good?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
You're looking very sharp, sir. I think you're a lot shorter than I remember your hair from last time. Is that a home haircut?
Yes, I cut my own hair. I do tutorials as well, so. This is a great setup you guys did with the pop and everything. I just love it. So great.
Fantastic. It's lovely to have you on, sir. And as Simon's just given you your introduction, so rightly deserved. You know, you've been very successful up to now, and I'm sure you're going to give a lot more. For our viewers out there that probably or haven't actually seen you before or heard of you, can you just give us your story? Just, you know, quick bio of who you are, where you are, and where you are at the moment.
Sure. I'm originally from Turkey. I came to London 2007. I've been doing barbering, cutting hair over 10 years now. So when I first came to London, I started off with catering industry. I used to work in the restaurants and stuff, but it definitely wasn't for me. I really wanted to go into styling and hairdressing and barbering. Therefore, at the time when I was learning how to cut hair, I didn't get any payment for it. So I had to pay my bills. So I carried on working in restaurants as well as learning how to cut hair. So for the first 6 months, I was working about 110 hours a week to be able to learn barbering as well as cover my costs. So that was a very hard time. But at the same time, it fastened my process so much. After 6 months, I was ready to cut hair on the actual barber chair. This is how I started my journey as a barber. Obviously, as you go and learn, get better and better and better. But what I really found in barbering is keeping myself excited. That's what really kept me going, trying to get better, competing, like sweet competition. I almost felt a little jealous about people who's doing really well in a good way, you know, trying to get there as well, like where they are and even better. So I tried so hard going into competitions, trying to go into exhibitions, nearly every exhibition possible, watching people cutting hair on the stage, and just thinking, I want this to be me, basically. And then first competition I've entered was, I think, BBA shaving competition, where I was on. I was knocked out by Ugel on semi-finals. That was a great experience. And then I won Best British Barber of the Year 2019 Great British Barber Bash competition. And then I've been a finalist 2 times in World Pro UK. That was a great experience. It was a massive show. Yeah, and I now announced my news actually today on my Instagram. I'm opening my very own barber shop in Farringdon, Kesman Grooming. I'm so excited. This is like so exciting. And at the same time, it's really emotional. Obviously, working for somebody else, and it's still nice. I'm not saying anything, but doing your own thing, your own baby, it's completely different thing. I got my nails in every sort of spot in the shop, if that makes sense. Like I'm so emotional and so excited. I just can't wait to push more, do more, and get out there basically.
It's amazing. I mean, obviously seeing you on the stage 2019 and then 2020 you had to do it virtually, which I think your model was probably the best one out of the lot, AJ off Strictly. And I come out and met you at Cutter's Yard as well at that time. Do you ever look, I mean, I can share this with everybody now, but I'd spoke to you personally that your points were, Gary judged this competition as well. So I asked Gars, I can't remember now, but on the overall scores, you were runner-up. We never announced a runner-up, but you had second. And there wasn't major points behind it. There was a clear winner this year, but there wasn't major points behind the winner. So I would always encourage you still to enter that because, mate,
Yeah,
there's an old saying, third time lucky, but maybe I look at this and think maybe if it would have been on stage this year, your confidence levels would have been a lot higher from what you learned the previous year, and who knows, that could have been a slight different story being live.
100%.
I don't know if you've ever thought that through your own head.
Yeah, definitely. I'm much better than that 2019 when I was on the stage for Wahl Pro UK. I was so nervous. I can't even tell you. When you came to ask me some questions when I was cutting, my heart was beating like 1,000 times a minute. So nervous. I just couldn't know what to say. It just literally, my mind gets blocked. But within that year after that, I worked in it quite a lot. I even had a therapy, just to sort of work on myself. Like, how can I deal with attention, being center of attention and being on the stage and stuff. And I did came a long way now, and I feel a lot better about it. And, I feel a lot more confident.
Do you know what though, Simon? I mean, and I can say this with hand on heart as well. I've known Nguray quite a long time. He's entered a lot of competitions, and he's obviously made an attempt to break into this area because he spent a lot. Just like we were talking to Kevin, he's invested a lot of time and money as well, and his models. And the difference in last year and this year, because if you remember, I was there when judged you the first year you entered. I know it was a different type, a different competition this time because you didn't have that interaction. But I think you learn how to deal with the crowd. You had a massive crowd on your first year, and then on the second year, you think, right, I've nailed all those things that I was going to do wrong, that I probably didn't do well the first year. And then they go and put you, it's a virtual. So you've got to learn a whole lot of new skills.
Right.
So
yeah,
it was just time. But your models, especially your work, absolutely fantastic, mate. You're top draw, and you've shown that in other competitions that you've been in as well. Because you're also, a national winner of other competitions. You've been a finalist with the BBA as well. So it isn't a fluke. It isn't something. You're not a flash in the pan. And I urge you to keep going because you've done. And congratulations on the owning your own shop. Everybody aspires to that, and even though you're working in a great place at the Cutter's Yard, it's the next step, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I had a great time in Cutter's Yard. I was there from day one. At night we finished about the building work, setting everything up at 3 a.m. and then I gone home, slept a little bit. I'm back at 8 a.m. to open the shop for the first time. So it's a really special place for me, but at the same time, it's not your own. So things are different now,
So tell us about Kesman's then, the new place. What kind of theme have you got to it?
So Kesman Male Grooming, it's bespoke male grooming. So basically we are gonna push more on head shape, hair type, personality. This is our motto. This is how I've been working. This is how I grow my clientele. Obviously you don't tell that to clients immediately, but this is what we do, right? Immediately you look at their head shapes, and when you touch the hair, you feel the hair type. And obviously their personality, what they do, what's suitable for their jobs. You know, you don't want to go extreme with the haircut, whatever. So I want to push that forward so people get a bit more knowledge about how barbers work and how they should know a good barber, and how, if the other barbers are messing up their hair, so what they should pay attention to, you know. This is what we're going to push to. Interior design is more exposed brickwork. I actually made a special spot for, I made myself a studio basically. It's quite a big place, it's 105 square meters. I have 6 barber chairs. I have a bar like this in it, so we can all come and have a drink when all this is over. I got a nice waiting area. And also I'm starting to develop my own products. You know, I'm so excited.
Just for the viewers that's watching, I know where it is, but just tell everybody where your new salon, Kesman's Male Grooming, is going to be.
It is going to be by Farringdon. It is by Farringdon. Yeah, it's a great part of town.
What's the address? Guray?
It is 4 Benjamin Street.
In Farringdon.
Farringdon, yeah, is by.
You heard it first here on Barbers Arms. Then the brand new Kesman Male Grooming is going to be opening up in Farringdon as soon as we're out of lockdown on the 12th of April. Anybody, I always say to barbers as well, you know, especially if you're traveling from the north, always go to visit and have your hair cut or have a beard shape, or in a London barber shop as well. Some of the top names, because you learn so much and what you can take back, and vice versa. Londoners to go up to the north and come to some of the top barbers in the north as well, and the Midlands. All sometimes just swap around and go and have a service done, see what you can learn. But I'm sure your place is going to be absolutely perfect.
Exactly. We actually do that as well. So I had a colleague called Jack. So we always used to talk like, oh, we should go to sort of, I don't know, ruffians, you know, go and get a haircut, see what they do and what other services they offer. Or, you know, we used to go to, you know, barber, you know, have that slick sort of look when I had longer hair. Just, you know, different feels, you know, like every shop have completely different feel and completely different atmosphere in it. And you learn and see a lot what to do and what not to do, if that makes sense, when you go to places, and you know how they treat you and what you're missing in your shop, or what they are doing wrong, what you should do in your shop, you know.
I think Guray as well, he's professional nosiness as well, isn't he?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I've always said, guys, even in my early days before I started being a presenter or do anything, I've always said to our staff, you know, sometimes go to another salon and have your hair cut or coloured, you know, and let's see what they're doing. And it's not just to be nosy, but, you know, Kevin's just said it on the Kevin Nugent, just like you want to be a better version of yourself that you were. Sometimes you have to learn off other people. Do you know what I mean? You have to go and see, okay, that person might be doing something better than I am. Let me go learn off them and let me come back and do it in my own way. But I'm so pleased for you, Guray, that you've got your own salon. And as soon as we are safe to travel and we can come out and about, maybe May or June, I'll be down there, let you line my beard in, and we have a chat. Are you drinking tonight? Are you having a beer?
I am not actually. I'm on water tonight. So I came home quite late from the shop. I'm still trying to do bits and bobs in the shop, finishing the last details of the decoration and stuff. So, and there was so much traffic. I literally made it like just about 8. So I'm on water tonight.
Good, Alf. Well, I can honestly say, I mean, Guray's entered the BBA best shave competitions, and he's the man for lining you up, Simon, as well. Guray, just quickly before, I know we're getting on and it's 9:15 now, but from your point of view, and you've said that you go in and see other barbers, you visit other barber shops, what you like, what you don't like, and I do exactly the same. You know, if I've got 5 minutes to spare, or you know, in between meetings or wherever in London, you know, you sidle in, you have a shave or whatever, and it says a lot. And especially if, you know, a lot of the time you catch them off guard, they're a bit rushed, or it says a lot, doesn't it? I mean, we used to do a lot of the Wahl Centre. We used to have a lot of meetings. They moved now to Trafalgar Square, Strand. But we used to have a certain barber shop across the road. You used to nip in across the road and have a line up, or, you know, a haircut or whatever. And it says a lot about the barber shop. But what for you, and you as a new barber shop owner, you've told us what, you know, what you're looking for, but what's going to be the essence of your barbershop for your staff? If when you take your staff on and you give them that performance wheel, or you say, this is the way we're going to do it, I'm taking you on, what do they have to have to work in Nguray Kesman's barbershop?
So I think firstly, obviously we are cutting hair, so they need to be good at cutting hair. But I think as a whole package, I will definitely look at the attitude is one of the most important things for me. You know, nobody wants to come and get amazing haircut from, you know, bad people with bad attitude. You know, that's really, really important for me. And hardworking, like willing to work. You know, I don't want them to work like a slave, but, you know, some people really like working. So I like to work people like that. So I don't have to keep pushing them to work, you know, just that incentive.
You want them hungry.
Exactly. They want to grow, you know, push their social media, you know. I don't want them to just come to work and go home. I want them to grow with me. That's why I made a studio. So when they make a nice haircut, take a picture of your haircut, be proud of your haircut, share it. You know, I always want to grow, but I want to grow with people. So I want to create my skeleton in my shop and grow together with them. That's my concept of my business. Apart from that, I think, you know, obviously, you know, personal cleaning, presentability, this is sort of high levels anyway in, you know, any shop that you would want to see anyway. But for me, attitude and connecting with clients, not just sitting in silence for 40 minutes cutting their hair. You know, these are the details, like details makes things perfect. In my shop, I want it to be an experience. I don't want people to just come for a haircut. When they walk into the shop, I want them to feel the experience. I want my front of house reception to give them a big smile when they walk in. So I'm 1-0 already. So when they sit on my chair, I'm already winning. You know,
We spoke about the importance of that. Can you remember our conversation privately?
Yeah, absolutely, I do. Absolutely, I do.
Well, cheers to that. I hope you all the best in the world, and congratulate you on having a great, successful barbershop, mate. All the very best.
A few questions coming in just from, if you're chilling out in London, what's the favorite for our international visitors? What's the favorite place in London you like to chill out in?
Oh, wow. Okay. My local pub, I think. You know, North Pole here. Oh, I forgot my pub's name, my local pub's name. Literally, I can see it from my window. The Lord of
area?
Lee, Southeast London.
Okay. So that's how long we've been to pubs, guys. You forget your local pub's name. It's been that long since we've been able to go out for a beer. Great. We'll finish off with some quick fire questions so that people out and everybody can get a little profile on you. Change the questions. If you watch Barbers Arms, you've got an idea of what's coming up, but we've changed it to a more hair themed questions for your quick fire questions. What is your favorite hair show that you attend?
Has to be Wahl Pro UK competition.
So Salon International.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Salon International. What's your favorite wall clipper?
Seniors, obviously.
Well, not to everybody else, but to you, maybe. What's the most iconic haircut that you do that you think that's your go-to haircut that you do that better than everybody else?
I think I can make the haircut look really natural in a sharp way. So it doesn't look really sharp at the same time, quite natural. So it doesn't, like, I don't like really sharp lines, but at the same time, it works a lot of scissor work with a lot of tapering basically, rather than really sharp fades. That's my style.
Okay. What's your favorite music?
1950s.
Yeah.
Wow.
With nice, I like my whiskey as well, so this is my chill time.
Oh, you'll have a good time with Gazzies from that era. What stage would you like to work on if you had one choice at Salon International? You were part of the team. Which stage would you most love to strut your stuff on at Salon International?
I put my black gear on and get on Wahl Pro stage.
Here we go. We've got Nguray Kesman, award-winning hairdresser and barber, soon to be opening Kesman's male grooming in Farringdon. Great opportunity for this young man, award-winning stylist and hairdresser, barber, that has been on the scene probably for the last 5 or 6 years. You've heard his hard graft. You know, when he was coming through to learn to be a barber in the UK, he was doing 110 hours a week just to get the learning, but still to provide for himself and his family. His favourite shows at Salon International. His favourite haircut that he likes to do is something that's very sharp but still looks very natural. He's listening to some 1950s music in the background, and he's using his favourite clipper, which is the Senior, and he's doing all this dressed in black, looking superb on the fantastic Wahl Pro stage, which we will be back at Salon International in October the 16th, 2021. Nguray Kesman, you're a superstar. Good luck with your new shop, and God bless to you, young man.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
Nguray, it's an actual pleasure all the time. Lovely to see you again, mate. Congratulations again. We will definitely be down having a pint in your bar, and we'll give you a great look in.
Love
See you, mate.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy tonight, guys.
Yeah, it's been a really good show. You know, it's been easy to get easier and easier, mate. It's a lovely, lovely job, really.
It's literally, I've been in meetings this morning from 8:30 through till 1:45. I literally had a 10-minute break, toilet break, and I've back-to-back meetings. And we were busy, so it kind of like, it did go quick. But probably the first hour, I didn't do a lot of talking. There was a big presentation on. The first hour, it felt like a full hour. The second lot moved a bit quicker through till about 12:30, 1 o'clock. But that 1.5 hours that we've been on there has absolutely flown. It's just gone so quick. Just
it's the company, isn't it? And
just talking to like-minded people, you know. I think tonight we've got it right as well with the guests that we have on. So matched there that you've got Nguray and Kevin, who similar kind of, I think Nguray's just a touch older than Kevin, but not much, but similar kind of ethos is that they've come up the hard way. They've had to like learn stuff, and they've had to like put the real hard graft in to get where they are. I think we'll have a shot based on the two boys tonight. So Kevin and Healer.
I've been trying to make up for both the guys because neither of them have been drinking, and I've just tried to keep getting not as much as in the early shows, but I keep trying to sneak them in as often and as much as I can.
I've kept seeing while I'm talking. There's what's wrong with Gazza's head. But cheers, good health to you.
Good health, all the very best.
I'm on tequila. Shots.
Well, I'm just going to do, before the end of the show, I'm going to do the last bit. This is Frank Gambuza's special. My last bit of my normal...
See, that don't look like a last bit to me. That looks like a 2 to 3 week show of shorts. Massive. There's loads left. Oh, go on then. In one.
No. We're that isn't 2 or 3 shows. Good God.
I take little tips of shots. I'm not like you.
The thing is, in the early shows, can you see the? He's got that.
Yeah.
In the early shows, I was doing like first half of the show, second half of the show. And I really,
just while we're talking about your serious drinking habit, coming up on episode 44, we're getting very close to the big Hawaii 5-0, 50 episodes. We're 6 episodes away from the 50 of Barber's Arms, but coming up in the next couple of weeks. Next week, we've got the Moody family on. We've got Chris Moody, who used to do lots of work for Javier, and he's from Barnsley as well. Chris, great guy. I know he does lots of education at the moment online with business and social media stuff. And his brother Stephen Moody, who's worked for Soons for years and years and years. So we've got the Moody brothers on next week, which is going to be really interesting. His mum, Denise, she started that business, Denise Moody's, in Darfield years ago, and it's still there, and it's still like, it's not in town centre, it's middle of an housing estate, but it always had a fantastic name to it, and Chris has continued that, and obviously his brother Stephen's gone on to doing amazing things in America. So we've got the Moody brothers on next week, and then the week after that, we can announce that Kevin Nguyen and Carl Taylor are going to be joining us on Barber's Arms. So the next 2 weeks are going to be packed with some superstar guests coming on to join us, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited about the Moody brothers. I mean, Chris and Steve, I mean, obviously he's with Weller and Sue's, like you said, great educator in the States. And Chris, we've worked very closely with the BBA with our education program. He's fantastic at what he does. Great hairdresser, obviously, but I mean, he's just surpassed everything by going on and running the effective educator course for us and taking that all over the world. So absolutely fantastic guest next week. Just quickly, can we just say thank you for everybody for watching. We've got some new views, new guys that are coming on. Danny Robinson's been on. We've got Pivot Point. Thank you very much for watching us all every week. All the usuals. Thank you, everybody around the world. Brian God keeps phoning me all the time, which is great, and letting me know what's happening in Canada. We had a great show last week in Canada, so absolutely fantastic for all of you that keep following the show. As we said, 93,500 views last week. Brilliant. We couldn't ask for any more. It's absolutely brilliant. And, you know, it goes from strength to strength. Can you believe? I know, you know, just getting back to lockdown and everything else, we started this nearly 12 months ago. I know we've got our anniversary show coming up, but we started this nearly 12 months ago, and it was going to run for 3 weeks because we were getting locked down for 3 weeks.
I know. And even now, even to this week, we've still got new countries joining us. We've got some barbers and hairdressers joining us from Romania. So welcome to the Barber's Arms family. This is a global show. I know me and Gaz are from the UK, but we've had this global show, and it's nice, you know, the people I spoke to in the industry, who probably we've not even seen on the live show, but we speak to them and say, "Oh, what you've been doing over lockdown, blah blah blah." Oh no, I'm a co-host of Barber's Arms. I've seen your show. It's great what you guys are doing. Oh, do you watch it? Yeah, I watch it every Sunday morning. I go and have that private more, you know. So I think it's good that we've done this, and it's great that, you know, that kind of accolade. Thank you to everybody for your kind comments. Thank you for watching every week. You know, in the thousands, would be modest. It's now in the millions that's watched the views afterwards. So it's very important for us that we always look back at the comments, and we always look back at the you know, the views that we've had. So thank you to everybody for that. Last orders, guys. I'm going to have a little bit of my apple spice moonshine. I think it's time.
Well, I'm going to have, and this is
apple pie.
I was going to take the last dram of the Appalachian moonshine. This is Frank Gambo's 2 years ago, something like that. Sugarland. I'm going to do it the proper way. I'm going to drink. You know, when you said there's about whatever shows left out, I'm just going to do it out of the the proper way of drinking moonshine, where you end up with no teeth.
Of course you are. Guys, don't do what that Gaz does at home. It's not big and it's not clever, and you're not as professional as him. I've tried it a few times and I've missed a few aeroplane flights back home. I can't keep up with him, so don't even try it at home. Cheers. Episode 43. Let's have a little. Do you know what? That apple pie, it's like a dessert. Do you know, I'm amazed why any restaurants that's watching just serve some apple pie moonshine as like little, you know, like sometimes you have the little what's the grappers, you know, like after meal shots and stuff. Try that. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's so nice to do that. Little apple pie, moonshine shot after 3 or 4 Peronis on Barber's Arms on a Friday night. It's been amazing. We've had some great guests on tonight. Kevin Nugent from San Diego, over in the state of California. And we've had Nguray Kesman to announce his new opening of Kesman Grooming in Farringdon in London. So it's been a really good show. My final message to you all, guys, is let's just listen. I know everybody's got mixed views about the government, and especially poor old Matt Hancock. I don't really say out to him because you just watch Piers Morgan, he just rips him to shreds anyway. Fuck me, does he give him some steak? This kid can't breathe without Piers Morgan giving him some steak, so we don't need to say out. The men mistakes, it's the first time they've been in it. But I think they want to make sure that this country has no more lockdown, and it's down to us. The responsibility now, we're in the final straight, and it's up to us whether we make it happen or you go down on Christmas Eve and you open all your Christmas boxes, and then you wake up Christmas morning and there's no to open. Make sure you save it. Let's get it right. Let's get back together, all of us, and so we can make sure that this country don't go back in a lockdown. We need to do our bit in our industry to do that, and do that personally at home as well. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's show from me and Gaz. I'm going to hand over to Gary to finish off with you all, but have a great weekend. Be safe, be strong, make sure we're all good up here, and make sure that we're all tuning into Barber's Arms episode 44 next week for Chris and Steve Moody. Gaz.
Thank you very much, Sam. What can I say after that? We obviously adhere to all that the Sam's just said. Just come on. We're in the back straight. Hopefully 6 weeks time, 6 weeks on Monday, we're going back to work with a bit of luck. Don't balls it up now. That's all I can say. And I know I'm talking to our industry. We're all in the same boat anyway. We're all in it too. We're doing it right. It's just try and tell your friends, family, everybody else, stay in. Just let's get it done. Can I just say a couple of things? Jackie, Ross, absolute legends. Ross, for your gifts and try and put me off all night. And Jackie, the show wouldn't be the same without you. And wishing our production team in Australia a speedy recovery. He's been ill and he's really suffered. So we put the show on tonight. We've had no problems whatsoever, which is an absolute classic. And the BBA Digest is out very soon, people, so keep an eye out for that. Other than that, have a great weekend. Love you all. Thanks for watching, and we will see you all next week, same time, same place. And we're going to have to restock the bar, I think.